Happy Mashujaa Day to all of you from where you're viewing me. I want to say Happy Mashujaa Day and remember that you are a Mashujaa at your own level and a Mashujaa on your own view and parameters. You are the only person in the whole universe who knows whether you unleash your full potential or not. And therefore, the issue of waiting approval from human beings, other fellow human beings, should not emanate from them, but it should be deep within your life and your heart and soul. So, as far as I'm concerned, I'm Machuja. And any other person who wanted to wish me Machuja, I appreciate, but I start with what we call personal appraisal, because it is only me who knows what I have done since God brought me into this universe. As others go out there and they refer me to as Masuja, I'll start by appreciating the far the Lord has brought me and what God has enabled me today. However, that notwithstanding, I want to wish you a very, very happy Masuja Day, and may God bless you, and may God continually order your steps and locate you from wherever you are so that you may lead a meaningful and purposeful life. So I've just come to share with you a few things before I sign off. That tonight, God willing, on Inoro FM, I'll be talking about steps, steps that you can use to awaken the giant within you. When God brought us into this particular universe, He gave us what we call distinct capacities and capabilities. When God created us, He gave us different, diverse talents, and therefore it is the high time that you search to yourself and ask to yourself what it is that God gave you to use in this universe before your days in this universe are over. And therefore, I have come to invite you officially to today's topic, especially those people who hear our mother tongue, because I'll be talking using my mother tongue. And the topic, believe me, it will change your life completely. Why am I saying that it will change your life completely? There are some individuals in this universe who are in pursuit of what they were not called to do from the word go. Many of us people, we are actually in the ocean of confusion where we have not been able to identify what it is that God called us to do. We have not been able to follow our purpose, and therefore confusion has become part and parcel of our lives. And that is why majority of us are called, in quotes, failures. You've been doing something for the last 15 years, but you have not yet been able to make it. You have not even broken even. What is the problem? 15 years is a long period of time not to have known what it is that you ought to do in order to lead a meaningful life. What do you require to know? What is it that you require to invoke and evoke within your systems that is going to awaken the giant within you? We all have a giant within us. Everybody, including the politicians that you see, they never just woke up one morning and they found themselves to be the politicians they are. Some of them, they were able to exhibit their characteristics of being politicians while they were in school. And you have got perfect examples of such individuals. For instance, the Honorable MP for Embakasi West, he was there. He was a student leader in Nairobi University. So he was able to harness those qualities and he became the politician that he is today. And therefore, that's a clear testimony and evidence that leadership comes from within us. It is the high time that we identify who are we, what are we supposed to do so that we may enjoy life before our days are over in this universe. There's nothing as disturbing as somebody pursuing what he or she was not made to be, because by the end of the day, you normally give that particular pursuit 50-50 of your energy and time and support. So I'll be telling you some of the things that you need to do in order for you to realize whether you are leading a life within the purview of your purpose. And once you appreciate that, your life will never be the same again. So I'm inviting you tonight on that particular topic, especially those people who hear our mother tongue, because I know it will be a transformative session. And those people who normally listen to my topics, I like being very, very magnanimous. I'm not one person who is bowed by parochial politics. I'm not one person who is bowed by what people say about me, because more often than not, including those people who have nothing to offer to the society, by virtue of not having identified what it is that they were called to do, they normally cast aspersions amongst us people, especially those people who are netizens, or those people who normally are content creators. I don't find any benefit for me to keep the information when I'm not sharing it with somebody whom it can help and propel him to or her to another and unprecedented levels of his or life. That's why I normally keep telling people what it is that we can do, all of us, and see whether we can make life better. So I'm going to tell you tonight, on some habits that you need to ditch from today henceforth. If you are going to succeed in your journey of your excellence, there are some few things. I'm only going to mention 5 things that you need to ditch from today so that your life can be meaningful. And then the other content will be given in the evening from 10 p.m. to midnight on Inoro FM radio station. Number one, if there is something that has made many of us people to remain stagnant in our lives, is inability to make decisions. Inability to make decisions. And I normally remind people it is better to make a bad decision than not to make any at all. Because that status of inertia, that status of being unable to make a decision is what has become the glue that holds you wherever you have been for as many years as you can remember. I have spoken on countless times that you must avoid being accustomed to procrastination. There are people who ought to have finished their projects in life 10, 15 years ago, but they did not do that because they became accustomed to procrastination. I have told you times without a number that procrastination is the thief of time. So what do you require to do in order to cut this cord that makes you continually procrastinate on things that you need to do? Maybe you have been in a bad relationship. It has taken you 5, 10 years and you have not been able to break it. So what does continued stay in that broken relationship mean? It is with eating on your precious time that you can use to turn around your fortunes. It is actually eating on your emotions. It is actually devaluing you every day. So what they say that you need to do, this procrastination is the thief of time. It will steal time from you. And before you realize it will be too late for you to rectify the anomaly. So I'll be talking about that in my effort to explain to you what you need to do to awaken the giant within you. Point number 2 is perfectionist. Don't try to become a perfectionist can't be found in a human being. We all have we all have our dark spots. We all have our shortcomings. We all have what we are not complete per se in life. And therefore, if you're looking for somebody who's perfect, if you're waiting for that opportune time that is perfect in order for you to do something, perfect time will never happen. And even the Bible confirms this when the Bible says in the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 11, verses 4. Let me just quote verse 4. Chapter 11, you can read from verses 1 to 4. Let me go to verse 4. It says, if you wait for the winds and weather to be favorable for you to plant, you'll never plant anything. And therefore, what does that one mean? You require to interpret that and understand. The Bible is telling us that those people who keep waiting for the most opportune time for them to do something, death catches with them before they do it. So you need to avoid being a perfectionist. Perfectionism is another disease that kills our ambitions. It is another serious chronic disease that inhibits our thinking and getting out of that quagmire of confusion. The other point that I want you to do, dwelling on the past. You have clung to the past for quite a long time. Let me tell you, I normally remind people, and I have also said it countless times, that past is my heritage. Whatever I did in the year 2000, I have nothing about it now. We're in the year 2024. So whatever good I did in 2024, that was for that particular moment. Whatever bad I did in 2000, God has enabled me to walk this journey for 24 years. So I therefore don't require to be 24 years behind, because that is behind me now. And that is why we say past is my heritage. Past is my heritage. The only thing that I can do about the past is to remember what happened, but I have no control over what happened now, because that happened. Therefore, that is water under the bridge. So dwelling on the past has also been one of the key things that makes us people to lose focus on our lives. And that is what has made most of us people. You have found a man who has been saying, I'll do my master's degree for the last 10 years. He has forgotten that saying it with a word of mouth does not translate into a graduation. You find a lady who has been plenty for the last 20. She started saying she'll get married in the year 2000. 24 years down the line, when she was 20, now she's 44. She's now contemplating of getting married, because, dwelling on the past will not help you. So move from where you are. And let me tell you, just like I always give an analogy of a car. The windscreen is bigger as opposed to what we call the side mirrors. So focus on what lies ahead of you. The 40th point is refusing to ask for help. Let me tell you, seeking counsel is not a weakness. If you go looking for what we call help, that is not a weakness. By the way, it will help you to get out of that particular stagnation faster than those people who assume they can have a solution from their own. Of course, problems, we are the people to make things happen, but sometimes it is good to seek help. It is not a claim to seek help. Then the other point that I want us to do is to remove that fear of failure. You are not the first person who defined failure. Even before you came to this world, there was somebody who had already defined failure. And I've told you on a number of occasions, failure is not an indicator that you can't make it. It is only a way of telling you prepare because the future is brighter. So join me tonight on Inoro FM from 10 p.m. to midnight as we discuss more on what we call, what do we require? Steps of awakening the giant within us. We all have a giant within us, but how do we awaken it? So may God bless you. Looking forward to seeing you at that time. That has been my brief intro. God bless you. See you then.